I was talking to a friend who's a startup founder and he was just asking me politely that let's go for a drink. I told him that I don't drink but I don't mind joining you, and he was like, yeah, if you want to network after a point of time you'll have to start drinking. Let's try to put an end to this debate. Firstly, I think everyone has certain principles in their life. I'm not saying if anyone is drinking they're doing something wrong, but if someone is not comfortable, I think there's no point in forcing them after a point of time. Secondly, for those people who tell me that okay, you just have one life and you have to do everything in your life in one life itself, I think this is the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life. Those people who tell me कि यार कुशल तेरे पास सिर्फ एक ही जिंदगी है तो तेरे को सब कुछ कर लेना चाहिए, आई थिंक दीज आर द मोस्ट स्टूपिड पीपल टू बी ऑनेस्ट. मैं उनको ऐसे ही रिप्लाई करता हूँ कि अगर एक ही लाइफ है तो व्हाई डोंट यू इंडल्ज इनटू इलीगल एक्टिविटीज, और मे बी व्हाई डोंट यू जस्ट प्ले एवरी स्पोर्ट बिकॉज यू हैव वन लाइफ. सब स्पोर्ट्स खेल लो ना, लाइक व्हाई यू प्ले ओनली टेबल टेनिस, व्हाई यू प्ले ओनली बैडमिंटन एटसेट्रा, बिकॉज यू एंजॉय प्लेइंग दैट स्पोर्ट, बिकॉज यू आर गुड एट दैट स्पोर्ट डजंट मीन दैट यू विल वेस्ट योर टाइम इन प्लेइंग ऑल द स्पोर्ट्स, राइट. द पॉइंट हियर इज दैट हमें जिस चीज में मजा आता है वही चीज हम करते हैं, एंड एवरीवन हैज डिफरेंट डेफिनेशंस ऑफ एंजॉयमेंट ओवर हियर. एंड द थर्ड थिंग व्हिच आई वुड लाइक टू स्टेट इज दैट आई डोंट थिंक दैट इफ यू रियली वांट टू बिल्ड और एस्टैब्लिश रिलेशनशिप्स they just happen in these kind of meets. I think if you really want to maintain relationship with someone, you'll give your best and you'll make those efforts in order to build or establish that connection. Because even I know if I want to maintain and build relationship with someone whom I know कि यार ये एकदम smart आदमी है, इसके साथ मेरे को हमेशा रहना ही चाहिए, I'll definitely try to let's say ask for a coffee or maybe like just go for a walk or go for a drive etc. Doesn't mean that you just have to go for these kind of parties or places in order to establish relationships. Now coming to the point of enjoyment. Okay, so I had made this post recently on LinkedIn where I had mentioned that okay, everyone has different definitions of enjoyment. For example, I don't have Netflix, I don't have Amazon Prime, I don't even watch movies. The last movie which I had watched was in 2018, that is Sanju. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and the last time I had watched television was in 2016. उसके बाद मैंने टीवी भी नहीं देखा है. Lot of people will think that यार कितना बोरिंग इंसान है, कुछ लाइफ में करता ही नहीं है, सैटरडे संडे भी यार सिर्फ रूम में बैठा रहता है, काम करता है वगैरह. Lot of people will say कि यार इसके पास तो एक ही लाइफ है, ये तो पूरा काम में ही रह रहा है, तो कुछ करता ही नहीं है, एंजॉय ही नहीं करता है. But the way I respond is that everyone has different definitions of enjoyment, right? Like for me, enjoyment is let's say just going out and networking with people, meeting them. For me, enjoyment is let's say just going out on a long drive with few of my friends with heavy rains going around on a Sunday evening. Or for me, enjoyment is just going back to my hometown, spending time with my family, pulling my sister's leg because I love to annoy her and irritate her, because that's why siblings are born, to irritate each other. Like we share that kind of a bond. For me, enjoyment would be let's say just like hosting some events at conferences, student conferences, interacting with them, or maybe just being a part of panel speaker. I love to talk to new set of people. For me, enjoyment would be just like podcasting and interviewing industry stalwarts, because I get to learn a lot from them, and even if I'm able to let's say imbibe 1% of their learnings which they've taught from that entire conversation, I think I'll be able to do well in my life. So everyone has different definitions of enjoyment, and the point which I'm trying to state here is that no one should control your definition of enjoyment. As far as you are enjoying your life, I think no one else has the right to control your definition of enjoyment. तो मेरा तो यही point है कि everyone should stick to their own principles, and I think if you're sticking to your own principles and not just getting distracted by these external factors, then I think you'll be able to do well in your life ahead. So बहुत बार ऐसे होता है कि lot of people who are there in investment banking या management consulting या even in big four, like even if you go to office parties etc, lot of time you will be forced to drink, or maybe lot of time you will feel like यार ये सब लोग कर रहे तो चलो मैं भी कर लेता हूँ. But I think the point is that if you have that self control within yourself, then I think you will be in a better position to not just get convinced if any of the person is just like trying to force you after a point of time. मेरे साथ भी बहुत बार ऐसा होता था कि like a lot of people used to force me कि after a point of time they used to say कि अरे यार चल कुछ नहीं होगा, किसी को बताना मत, किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा वगैरह वगैरह. In fact, in one of the situations I still remember कि एक बार मतलब बहुत फोर्स करके वो बॉटल सामने ही रख दिया था. But again I stick to my principles, and मेरा ऐसा था कि यार अगर नहीं करना है तो नहीं करना है, क्या ये प्रॉब्लम है. अभी सबको ही पता है, लाइक सब फ्रेंड्स को भी पता है कि ओके यार इसको फोर्स करके फायदा है भी नहीं, बिकॉज ये सुनने नहीं वाला है. आई थिंक वो जो जिद होता है ना, इफ यू आर एबल टू बी स्टबर्न एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू बिल्ड दैट इमेज और रेप्यूटेशन ऑफ योरसेल्फ, देन आई थिंक इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर एनीवन टू लेट यू गो अगेंस्ट योर प्रिंसिपल्स. सो लाइक दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि यार जो भी लोग करते हैं वो गलत है वगैरह, मतलब इट्स फाइन बिकॉज दे थिंक इट्स एंजॉयमेंट, राइट. तो सबका अलग अलग डेफिनेशन है एंजॉयमेंट का, तो आपको जो अच्छा लगता है आप वो करो, एंड दूसरे को जो अच्छा लगता है वो दूसरे को करने दो. इट्स लाइक आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि आप दूसरे को स्टॉप करो फ्रॉम व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, एंड इवन अदर पीपल शुड नॉट स्टॉप यू फ्रॉम डूइंग व्हाटएवर यू लाइक डूइंग. सो द पॉइंट हियर इज दैट यू शुड जस्ट कीप एंजॉयिंग इन योर लाइफ, एंड एंजॉयमेंट का डेफिनेशन बहुत अलग अलग हो सकता है. एंड इनफैक्ट आई हैड अ पॉडकास्ट विद अनुभव दुबे आल्सो, वेयर ही आल्सो मेंशन दैट कुछ भी हो जाए, चाहे तुम लोग 22 ईयर्स के हो, 23 ईयर्स के हो, 15 साल के हो या 50 साल के हो, यू शुड ऑलवेज कीप एंजॉयिंग इन योर लाइफ बिकॉज यू हैव वन लाइफ इटसेल्फ. बट उसने ये नहीं बोला है कि एंजॉय कैसे करो. एंजॉयमेंट सबका डेफिनेशन अलग है. फॉर हिम व्हेन आई आस्क्ड हिम कि हाउ डू यू डिफाइन एंजॉयमेंट, उसने बोला कि यार उसको चुगली करना पसंद है, दोस्तों की मजे करना पसंद है, उसको बाइक राइड्स पे जाना पसंद है, लाइक दीज स्मॉल थिंग्स व्हिच रियली एक्साइट हिम और मे बी मोटिवेट हिम टू डू मोर इन हिज लाइफ. In fact, he also mentioned that one of his employees called as Manoj, who was orphan, and he hired him, and Manoj now travels in airplane to go to London etc to expand the chai sutta bar का business. So उसके लिए ये enjoyment है कि उसके कोई employees जो है वो आगे जाके successful होते हैं, पैसा कमा पाते हैं, तो it is enjoyment for him. So this is such a sweet definition of enjoyment, right? तो basically यही point है कि आप enjoy करो life जो है, don't just overstress, overburden yourself, because a lot of times what happens is that if you overstress or overburden yourself, you won't be able to perform well in your life. So at the same time, when I'm saying that you should focus on your academics academics or maybe focus on the work which you're doing, but you should also parallelly enjoy your life. And enjoyment कैसे भी हो सकता है. For example, if I love making videos and if I'm making this video right now, I am definitely enjoying. And let's say आज जैसे मुझे एक friend ने invite किया था in the Indian cocktail party which is going on in Bandra Geo World Drive. So I don't enjoy doing those things. So that's why I just mentioned कि यार चलो अभी उधर जाने से अच्छा let's just like sit at home, do our work. And of course like I had to attend a couple of meetings as well. So basically point ये है कि आपको जो भी चीज़ करने में मजा आता है उस पर ही फोकस करो. And after a point of time अगर आप जो चीज़ कर रहे हो उसमें मजा आता है, अगर आप वो मोनेटाइज कर पाओगे then I think it's like a no brainer for you. So most of the people who are able to monetize their passion, I think they are very very lucky, to be honest, because I also consider myself very lucky because like okay, I'm hardworking, but at the same time I think I'm not that smart as compared to other people, but still like I'm able to monetize on my passion and I'm able to live a comfortable life as well. So that's why I call myself as lucky. And in fact मेरे को तो ऐसे लगता है कभी-कभी कि 99% of my success जो भी अभी तक है would be just because of my luck which is there. But most importantly it's like hard work और dedication भी बहुत ज़्यादा back end पे काम करता है, which is not usually visible, but of course like you should always keep striving for more and never be satisfied. So like मेरे पेरेंट्स के साथ मेरा ये आर्ग्यूमेंट होता है कि my parents tell me कि you should always be satisfied in your life. जो भी तुमको मिल रहा है उससे संतुष्ट रहो, ऐसे मेरे पापा बोलते हैं. The way I argue or maybe the way I tell them is that if I'm satisfied with my life, I wouldn't be able to strive more or maybe I wouldn't be willing to achieve more in my life. So I always tell them कि यार मेरे को satisfied तो ठीक है, मतलब I can celebrate my small achievements, but I don't want to stay satisfied because I want to achieve more in my life. जैसे अगर मेरा CPT और IPCC में रैंक था और मैं satisfied हो जाता, I don't think I would have been able to get a rank in my CA finals examination. So the point is that you should be proud but not satisfied, and you should celebrate small achievements whenever you achieve anything and then move on to achieve bigger milestones in your life. This is the point that you should always strive for more. Just ensure that you are giving more in your life ahead. Don't be satisfied. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of all the small achievements, but at the same time keep moving on in your life to achieve better milestones. I think एक benchmark set करना बहुत important है. Like this is a constant loop which is going to be there. अगर आप यहाँ पे पहुँचना चाहते हो, if there's a person who is here and if you are here at this point of time, अगर आप यहाँ पे पहुँच जाते हो तो there will be another benchmark or another person whom you'll think an inspiration and आप वहाँ तक पहुँचना चाहोगे. तो ये साइकिल जो है वो हमेशा लूप में चलेगी until and unless you become the best, which is not going to be possible because there will be someone who is better than you at the end of the day. So the attitude should be कि यार चलो he is better, so I have to become the better, and then once I become better I have to become the next version of better. So that is the attitude which you should keep, and I think अगर ये हो गया तो you'll be able to achieve anything which you want in your life. जैसे पहले मेरे लिए इंस्पिरेशन कोई और था, एक बार मैंने वो लेवल क्रॉस कर लिया तो मेरे लिए अभी इंस्पिरेशन कोई दूसरा हो गया, एक बार वो लेवल क्रॉस कर लिया तो कोई इंस्पिरेशन तीसरा हो जाएगा. So the thing is your inspirations will always change, but at the same time you should ensure that you should keep moving on in order to achieve bigger milestones. So I hope this video was useful for all of you. I just wanted to share my natural thoughts with all of you, and like if you like this video, share it with all your friends and subscribe to my channel so that I can create more videos for all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video.